because me and Tiesto talk about Formula One. It's fucking sick, dude. And he was like,
Don't touch me.
get the fuck out of my booth.
What do you mean?
I'm always going to the bathroom.
The same.
No fucking way.
It's like, I like it.
Living in LA. It's like so competitive. Actually, I don't want to talk about that on camera. My mom's going to watch.
Guys, this is one more episode of Supersonic Talks, and I'm so happy to have a very, very special guest tonight. And when I texted this guest, I said, can we have in our podcast before your tour started, and you will be like, it will be hard to reach you out before you go to the tour with Joss and other big artists. Kyle or Goodfella?
Hello.
Or Goodfella or Kyle? How you prefer me to introduce you more?
Kyle's cool.
Kyle is
Yeah,
cool.
Kyle's
More
fine.
personal, right?
Yeah, Goodfella's not my real name, so Kyle's more natural.
Of course, we understand that Goodfella is not your real name.
Yeah.
But tell me from where is come Goodfella? Like.
Okay, yeah. So there's this song by, have you heard of Chance the Rapper?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chance the Rapper has a song called No Problem. And the intro is, you don't want zero problems, big fella. And I was like half asleep in my college dorm room. And for some reason, that lyric was in my head. And I said it out loud, trying to fall asleep. But I said, you don't want zero problems, good fella. And then I like sat up. Because I have a lot of trouble sleeping, so I do this a lot. But like this time, I stood up and I was like, "That's kind of a cool name for a DJ." So yeah, so I picked that with a U instead of two O's.
Yeah.
And it just kind of stuck. It looks good, and it's like easy to say, it's easy to find.
How long do you have this like stage name, or
The name?
It's came from the start of your like DJ career?
Right. So I started that in like 2018.
Yeah.
And I was like still in college, and I made a completely different genre of music actually. But like the house music Goodfella started around 2021, like the summer of that. And that was when I put out the Family Ties remix. So yeah, I was active in 2018, but like the stuff I made back then is nothing like what I make now.
What did you make back in the days, and what the different what are you making right now?
Yeah, so it was like a lot of like, it's called future bass.
Yeah.
It's like Louis the Child, We Thin,
Yeah.
Millennium type stuff. And it's like very like pop centric. So we're basically writing pop songs, but like having like EDM elements under it. So that's what I used to make until about like I said, like 2021. And then when I put out the like the Kendrick Lamar Baby Keem remix, I kind of decided that like every time I try to make house music, it sounds pretty good. So I'm just going to move there, because it's also like just so much, like it's so hard to do future bass unless you're like like the best songwriter out there, just because
hard
it's so
in
like,
which way? Technically
it's like,
hard?
It's production wise pretty hard, because it is a lot of sound design. It's also like very centric on the vocal, because it's very pop based.
Yeah.
And it's also really hard to play live. Like, a lot of songs in future bass are like 100 BPM to 140 to 150. And if you have so many like songs, and like the speeds are so different.
The set?
Yeah, it's really hard to mix. Like, whereas in house music, everything is 120 to 130 to 135. So it's easy. Right. But yeah, like I couldn't perform my own songs when I played live, and that was a problem.
So that was the reason why you changed your style.
It was one of them, yeah. And it was just like the entire time I was making future bass, I was just in my head like, damn, I wish I made house music, because I play a lot of house music already in my old sets.
Yeah.
And the entire time I was thinking like, why can't I make music like this? And like it was literally just a matter of me like telling myself like, okay, just switch, it's no big deal.
For me, bass music is a very specific genre. So 2 years ago I went to Colorado, work as a food vendor to the very famous bass music festival in Colorado, in Denver.
Right.
I forgot the name. Oh my god, Sonic Bloom.
Oh, Sonic Bloom. Yeah, I've heard of that.
So we lived 3 or 4 or 5 days in the tent. Our tent was between two main stages of bass music.
Really?
And earplugs, nothing didn't help us. We sleeping 24/7, work 24/7 with the bass music. You literally feel it from the ground.
Yeah.
So
it's
I
harsh.
have a very specific relationship with bass music, but I can go to the festival and just enjoy the bass music for fun. So first of all, thank you for coming. I appreciate.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's your first podcast, so it's my fifth. So we're not super far away from each other. Still don't have any experience.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming, and I just want to say that I'm very happy for you that you have like a new step in your career, and it's very cool because I think for every artist it's very important to have like this small like wins, some small push when you achieve something like some hook and you can go like up, you can do more. So
it's the small wins add up.
Not like when you focus on them a lot, but you're like, okay, I can reach these things, so right now you can reach like something more from this step, which is so cool. How do you feel yourself at this new step in your music career? What is your feeling right now?
Well, it's an honor, like, that people, like, there's actually people that listen to my music, which is cool, which is what I've always wanted. Sorry. Like, dealing with it, though, it's like I have a lot of imposter syndrome still.
What?
Imposter syndrome, do you know what that is?
No.
So it's like feeling like, it's basically like when something is happening to you, but you can't believe that it's like a real thing. You're still like you think everything is kind of like a joke, or like people are like playing a trick on you, but
like you real think that is a joke, or you just don't believe?
No, it's just like it's more of like a me issue, but it's like I don't like when I get mentioned in the same sentence as, say, Tiesto, I'm like, that's weird, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I shouldn't be there. But
so you technically believe in that, but
no, I don't, because I think I
like
do.
you really don't believe, like, in the real thing. You don't believe it, or you believe. I have the same.
Yeah.
I have this. I just didn't know how in English it's called.
So
I have the same.
Yeah, imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. So
Imposter syndrome. Yeah.
Imposter syndrome. So I just want to tell the very quick story. I didn't know that this syndrome exists before I read the book about it and understand that I have it, because I'm always not like I just don't not appreciate. I'm like telling to myself that I'm not deserve it.
That exactly.
I'm like,
it's exactly
people
that.
like, oh, you're doing so great, la la la. I'm like, it's happened accidentally by itself.
I feel like, I still have so much to go. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel you, bro.
Yeah. But like in the beginning, it was a lot of that. But I think I've learned how to manage it and like really embrace it, because when you make something that like people care about, and you have to reciprocate, you have to give it back to them. And like for a lot of time, I was like kind of deflecting stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's like it's cool. It's cool that things are finally happening and that things are moving.
So you already accept your grownness,
your
success. You just like accept it and enjoy the process.
Enjoying the process too. It's like, the roads to like putting all that stuff out, and like the road to all that stuff happening is the best part. So I've been learning to manage that a little bit better, like every day. And it's cool.
How are you managing it? You like talk to yourself, explain to yourself, because I'm like trying to understand how I'm doing.
Yeah, it's just like when something big like that happens, you just got to tell yourself that like you deserve this because you worked hard, and not because you like luck is always involved, yes, but like it's not just luck. Like you grind every day to make new music and to work on your craft, and when big wins happen like that, you got to tell yourself like you fucking deserve it. You know what I mean? And it's just like a lot of times before that, I told myself, that's not what I told myself. And like, it took me like a while.
Did you think why you have like this type of syndrome, why you had this thought that you are not deserving? Did you analyze from where it came from? because I analyze myself and
Yeah.
I kind of understand from where it's
Yeah.
coming. So
I think it comes from a lot of insecurity, just because like you go from only your friends listening and liking and like sharing your music to suddenly a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But I think. Wait, sorry, I lost my train.
No,
of
you
thought.
get good. No, you said about insecurity. I agree
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
yeah,
because,
exactly.
Yeah, so
Like-
you're not like believing yourself. You like
Yeah.
you're not. I understand what you mean. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like you go from just your friends and your parents sharing your stuff,
and after
to,
that, you're playing for the like 1,000 people.
yeah, yeah. It's like in the beginning, it's just really hard to believe, but like, I think once you just see it in your face more often, like on the phone or like people like approaching you and saying what's up, and people you don't know, when you introduce yourself to them, they're like, oh, I know you. Then you see it like that it's for real, and you start to believe it for yourself. But like at first, I was just like, damn, like this is weird.
No, it's cool. So you came from Philippines to America when you was a kid. How do you feel that? Do you feel that the Philippine culture inside of the music that you are making is it like influence your music? What are you doing?
So here's the thing about that. I'm really, really trying to, like, I think in my newer stuff, I'm trying to sample more like Filipino tunes.
Oh wow,
right?
What is it, Filipino tunes?
It's like, it's very like American influenced,
Yeah.
especially like the pop music. And then there's a lot of like K-pop, J-pop influence, especially there now, with the huge rise of like the BTSs and the Blackpinks and those people. But what I was really looking into is like, a lot of people don't know this, but the Philippines had a big disco scene.
Oh wow.
In the 70s, yeah. There's this band called VST and Company that my Lola, my grandma, showed me. And I listened to their whole album, like, this is fucking good. Like, I need to like sample like this type of stuff, like old Philippine dance tunes. You know what I mean? And I've been trying to do that. I think I tease some of it on my Instagram, but just like Philippines doesn't really have a sound when it comes to dance music yet. And like there are a lot of Filipinos in dance music, but they haven't really tried to incorporate like Filipino culture into the music itself. So I think I want to experiment with stuff like that moving forward, especially with my newer stuff.
How's the like dance music in Filipino is going on right now? Is it like cool big festivals exist in Filipino clubs?
Not at all. There's like I don't think house music or even
so
bass
it's not
music,
popular in
not super popular. No, I think there are like very niche styles of dance music that are like mostly Manila. And I watched a documentary on a certain genre, which I can't remember the name of right now, but like house music or like bass music or anything like that hasn't made its big breakthrough there yet, at least from what I've seen. So I mean, I would love to be a part of that soon. Like that'd be cool.
So it's cool that you can represent your culture and you can be the artist who represent like your country and say that I'm from Filipino and I'm making music and stuff like that. It's very cool. Tell me the story how the small guy Kyle be interesting in the music, because I know that the parents did a lot of things to like introduce music to you, to show some cool electronic stuff. So tell me how it started, from where you remember like the moment when you felt that you into the music, that it's what you want to do.
Yeah, got you. So music has always just been part of like our life as a family in general, because I don't know if you know too many Filipinos, but like if you've ever been to like a gathering, it's always a lot of food and then a karaoke machine. And it's for every Manny Pacquiao fight or for every family gathering, there's always a karaoke. And on the drive to the place, my mom is like, you're gonna have to sing something tonight, right? So yeah, like we had singing karaoke has just always been a thing since I was like a baby. And then when we first moved here, my dad put me in music classes, and it was like, at the time it was like trumpet,
Oh wow.
violin, like super, super basic stuff. And in my head, I was like, I want to do something cool. I want to play guitar. So I took guitar lessons until I was about like in 8th grade.
Yeah.
I think I was like 13 or 12 when I stopped fully. And then after that, I played in like a band.
So all your childhood you was around the music.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like parents understand, like they saw inside of you that you're interested in the music, that you have some talent. They like help you.
It wasn't really that. It was more like they were doing what like every parent does, is where they put me in sports.
Yeah.
They put me in like clubs. They put me in like a bunch of different instruments just to see what works. But I think for me, like I gravitated a lot towards music. Just because when I started learning guitar, I was so desperate to like figure out how to record it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how. I only played, and that was it. I think it was my senior year of high school, so my last year in high school. I started wanting to make like rap beats, so I pirated like FL Studio, and then I tried to make rap beats for rappers. And then I think my freshman year in college, I was like introduced to like Louis the Child's music, which is like, it's like future bass, pop, influenced electronic stuff. And when I listened to him, like, oh, EDM can sound like this, you know, like it can sound like, to me, like pop music was normal music because I wasn't into electronic or anything. So when I heard that, I was like, oh wow, like this is cool. Like I need to figure out how to do it. And so I like downloaded Ableton my freshman year. I learned everything through YouTube.
So you didn't go to any classes, schools?
No. So I went to one production class
Yeah.
in my college, but like I already kind of knew everything. It was like very, very basic level stuff.
Yeah.
And I already was like doing it. So I really learned everything through YouTube and like tutorials.
Want to ask you the question, what do you think for the people who want to like start maybe making the music, they produce the music, how important is it to really go to the school, to the people who doing like who are like the real teacher, or for today it's really enough to have a YouTube videos just to learn from YouTube?
Yeah.
So does it make sense, or what is your opinion?
Well, I think a lot of people learn like differently.
Yeah.
Because when I was watching these YouTube videos, I would watch them all the way through, and I would like really be zoned in and like take notes and stuff. So I was almost doing it like a class. I like, me personally, that's how I learn, and like it's worked for me my entire life. So it wouldn't make sense to go to a school for music for me. But for some people, I think they learn better like when they have a teacher. It's hands-on. You're in like,
you have like control.
Yeah, or it's like they have like they go to a learning environment to go learn, and if they have the funds to do that, I feel like, you know, it's fine. But to answer your questions, I feel like for most people, you don't need.
I think your passion is just navigate you.
That's what I'm saying.
Like if you want to really learn something, you can do it without everything.
And you'll make the effort to figure it out. Yeah,
for sure. I also know that you studying like math, and you were completely far away from the music when you were in the college, your college. So why you didn't want or didn't think to like continue your music passion? You didn't think that it's not serious for a guy, or like what was the reason?
Well, so my parents were like, they paid for me to go to college, right? And their whole mindset is, if we're paying you this much money to go to college, you better be majoring in something that makes money. You know what I mean? And like, so
and music is not about money.
it's so volatile, and it's like,
yeah,
you can be really, really good and it still doesn't work out. You know what I mean? But
before you got like a very high.
Oh yeah, like they love it now, but before obviously it makes sense for them to be paying for something that's like practical and safe. So I majored in construction/civil engineering, and for a while I like tried to tell myself that I wanted to go full time and like make the money. and stuff
just not
like that.
disappoint your parents.
Yeah, not like I didn't want to disappoint my parents. Like they're paying,
Yeah.
like they took the effort to like move away from the Philippines, start a new life here, so that we could go to college.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to feel like I was throwing that away. So obviously, like I wanted to make them proud, do well in school, graduate. But I think it was the first 6 months that I worked in that field that I discovered that I just really, really don't like have any joy for the work. Like when you go to your job, it like feels like work.
Yeah.
And like when we do our music thing, it like we're just having fun.
I'm just always thinking that we are so lucky that we are doing what we like, because we really can work like 24/7, and yeah, we can be tired, but we still enjoy the process. It's not like we're sitting in the office.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like when I was working full time, I was like, I would go home like really, really tired. I would just think to myself like is this it? Like, is this what life is gonna be?
Did you was like afraid? Did you was scared to like leave this job and just go make music and understand that music will not bring you money at the first time? Especially you're a man, you know, like
extremely scared.
how you break this feeling, how you push yourself to do what you want to do.
So like so like to answer that, I basically I left the job, and then I just told my mom that I would work part-time jobs to make money. But at the time when I quit my full-time job, it was like the Family Ties remix had been doing well. And we had already been talking to my current label, Thrive, just about like signing potential music. So like it wasn't without like any leads. Like I had
you
leads.
have already. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had some leads already. Because I actually had someone DM me that they quit their job because I talked about this story somewhere else, and someone was like, "You inspired me to quit my job." I'm not saying don't quit your job, please. When the time is right, when you work hard enough to where you know music can get you at least somewhere, then yes. But please don't quit your jobs because I told you to, because that's not what I meant.
Especially when you live in LA.
Yeah, especially when you live in LA. It's like so competitive, but yeah, I don't know. I think once I quit my job and I decided that I wanted to pursue it full out, and I like really, really dedicated every like hour I had to just doing music and doing music related things, then it made the decision easier. It still took time, but now I'm moving to a place with music money this Friday, actually. So.
Yeah. We're still waiting your housewarming party.
Oh yeah.
To your house.
Yes.
Now, congratulations. You're moving from where?
So I'm moving. I've been living with my parents for the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I went to school in San Diego, lived there for 5 years, and then when I graduated, I moved back.
Yeah.
We're moving from Orange County to West Side LA.
Nice.
Like, yeah. So I'm excited.
No,
and house party is open deck, so. Bring your USB.
Yes,
it'll
will
be
come.
sick.
We'll bring wine, USBs, everything.
Oh yeah.
What I wanna talk about your new step that I said before.
Mm-hmm.
About your new track that you did release with Tiesto, and it's really big thing. For the artist, because Tiesto is one of the main artists of the electronic music scene, and I mean, you can love Tiesto, you can don't love him, but you have to accept that he's a main guy, and it's a really big thing. Tell us the story. How does it happen? I know that Tiesto found this track on TikTok, and it's so cool that the social media is doing crazy right now.
Yeah.
You can be like no one, I don't know, producing your music in the small room and just blowing up next day because of the TikTok.
Yeah.
So tell me the story. How does it happen?
So I got into the studio with my friend Nick. He's Nico.
Yeah, Nico.
And Nico and Sway. And I think we just went into the mindset where like we just want to make something fun that we can send to our DJ friends to play at a party. And we stumbled on the Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
It's an old track from 80s.
Yeah, old track from the 80s, Tears for Fears. One of my favorite
classic one. Yeah.
One of my favorite tracks ever. So I was like, why don't we do this? Like this, like people love this song. It'll go hard if we made it a dance remix. We left the studio. I loved it. I don't think Nico loved it because
what Nico said, he's like, oh,
he was just like, so I was like, yeah, this is fucking sick, dude. And he was like, yeah, it's cool. And then like, so he sent it to me, and we weren't really thinking much of it. We're just gonna send it to friends, not put it out.
Yeah.
I play it at Sound in LA when I was opening up for Surf Mesa. It was like a space yacht show, and I post a TikTok of it, and that starts like blowing up. I wake up and it has like 100,000 views. Oh. And so I text Nico and Sway. I'm like, yo, boys, we have a song here. And they're like, okay, like we got you. Like we'll post something
and Nico
too.
is like, I like it.
Yeah. yeah. So like I was like, yo, boys, like we have a song here. Let's start posting it. And like they're like, of course. And so my thing is like when I posted it, it was the audio from the show.
Yeah.
So it was like really muffled and like in a room.
For sure.
And then the guys posted a video, Nico and Sway, they posted a video with the song on it. And that sound that they used got used by like a bunch of European football teams like Barcelona.
What do you mean?
Like, yeah, FC Barcelona, Juventus.
They used in which way?
Like as a sound on Reels on Instagram. Yeah. And Formula One used it. And like, I think that at that point, that's where Tiesto saw it, because me and Tiesto talk about Formula One, and we're both big fans. And I think he saw.
Me too. I love Formula One.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, really? What's your team?
I don't know. It's like my boyfriend. He's a big fan, so that's why we watch all the Netflix documentary.
Yeah. Have you caught up? Have you watched the?
We watched the last one. They did like the short, like cut from the last year. But the Formula One will be soon, like next Saturday or something.
Yeah. Oh, this week actually.
Or this week. Yeah. So I love it. I love all the teams. Honestly, I love all like
so
Red
fun.
Bull and Ferrari. I love all of them. They're very so. Okay, let's back.
So anyway, we'll talk about Formula One after. But so I think so it got picked up by like big organizations like that, just using it as a sound. And then Tiesto messages Nico and Sway, who told me, and he's like, hey, could you send me the project? And we're like, yeah, of course.
So how he texted to you?
So I think he hit them up by DM. Just Instagram.
In Instagram?
Yeah,
to
on
you?
Instagram. To Nico and Sway. Because so the sound was under their Instagram. So when you look up the sound, it goes under to their profile. So we hit them up. And obviously they're like, yeah, please have it. And we didn't hear, I think, for another few weeks or another month. And then tomorrow.
What did you feel this month? So just like he forgot about you. What kind of feeling did you have?
Yeah, well, I mean, like he asked for the project, so we're like, maybe he's making a remix of it. Like maybe he's like adding his touch. Like we don't know. We didn't know for a month. And then Tomorrowland happens in Belgium. And our label sends us a video because they were watching the live stream while they were working. And they heard our song, but it was a little bit different. It was like the Tiesto version, which is like the new version that we put out now.
So he already like made some edits.
Yeah, so he
played it.
So he made his edit, and then and he played that for Tomorrowland, and it was basically like at that point that was the song that you hear on Spotify.
Yeah.
But at the time we're like, oh, it's the Tiesto remix of the original. So yeah, and then we tried to get the original, like basically he made the remix, and he was like, let me know what you guys are doing, like with the song. Like I would love to like put this out as a remix and stuff. We're like, yes, of course. Like a long time goes by, and I think Tears just says no to the song getting cleared. And we're like, oh damn, like that's tough. And then so Tiesto hits us up about it again, and he's like, yo, so like what's going on with the song? Like, are you guys gonna be able to put it out? And we're like, I don't think so. Like, I think we've been trying to get a hold of them for a month. Like, we can't really get anything moving. So I think it's just going to stay on SoundCloud. And then his team goes, just give us a little bit. So like a few more months go by, and then we find out that we're working on making this a collab track. Yeah. Tiesto, Nico and Sway, me, and Tears for Fears now. Because like at this point they're on board, and we're like, no way, that's crazy. Like like, what do you mean? Are we gonna get the vocals cleared? Or is somebody else gonna sing it?
Yeah.
And they were like, no, like it's gonna be on Tears for Fears' profile. And we're like, no fucking way. So it took about like 3 extra months, but you know, big shout out to Capital and Thrive for getting it all done. But like after 3 months and like a lot of talks, we got it done. The Tiesto like additions ended up being the real track because he did help a lot with it getting cleared. But yeah, that's the story basically.
So it's amazing, honestly. Yeah. It's very cool. What do you think the secret of success of this track? It's like because it was like the classic track back in the days, or how this puzzle happened. Have you analyzed like it's like a likeness? It's like you're talented guys that you really created this track because like you said that Nico he didn't like understand it the first time that this track is as cool as
well I think he did like it, but he didn't think it was gonna be the track that like changed our lives. You know what I mean? And I felt the same way. I thought it was good.
Do you think it changed your life that this track is
absolutely. Like before this I wasn't really touring. Like I was playing in LA and that was it. And this track got me like my agents, Charlie and Jewel, shout out to them. And just like I think a lot more people know who I am and who Nico and Sway are because of that song. And it wouldn't have happened if Tiesto wasn't passionate about it and if he and his team didn't, you know, really help us out with that one.
Did you have a chance to talk to Tiesto?
So
how he is as a person, like
he's really funny. Like he's a really, really chill guy. We first met him when he was doing the LA Historic Park headline. And he invited us to come out and play it for that show. It
was your first big show? I mean about the amount of people.
That was the biggest amount of people I've ever played in front of.
Have you been nervous at this time? Did you nervous?
I was super nervous because I had like when a person as big as Tiesto reaches out to you, you're like, oh, how's he gonna be in real life?
And especially you with your syndrome, you're just like, I can't.
Exactly. Like imagine just being like, just making this song at your friend's bedroom, right, at your friend's place, and one of the biggest DJs of all time is now inviting you to a show to come play out the version that you guys collabed on. I was scared shitless. Like I was like, so me and Glenn, we had a show in Hawaii the night before, and we didn't sleep the night before because we knew we were coming back, and we had the Tiesto show. And I was just like, dude, like, what do I do? Like, what do I wear? Like, do I drink or anything? But he was so friendly. He introduced me to his entire team, his wife. And I think like we message each other on Instagram here and there, talk about F1.
How do you manage your feeling when you have this kind of big show, when you have like 1,000 people in front of you, like you drink shots before or you just like sitting with yourself trying to be focused? What is your routine before like this type of shows?
So usually for me it's like just sitting down and being alone and being like, for me that's like being on my phone for like at least 20 minutes just to like ease off, because when you're traveling somewhere and you're playing, you're already like super overstimulated, like you're traveling and then you're checking at the door, you're getting your credentials, and then you go into the green room and a bunch of people are trying to talk to you and you're trying to meet a bunch of people.
You didn't like when people trying to talk to you before the show?
No, I do, but it's like it's stressful. You know what I mean? Like especially if you're like thinking about the performance and if you're nervous for the performance a bit. That added element of just people being there, it kind of stresses, like adds to the stress, you know? So for me, it's like, I usually get like a shot or two and then just sit down and like, just read text off of my phone. Just read something. Just so I could...
Just like random things, just to calm yourself.
Yeah, just so I could like quiet the brain a little bit. Like really, really focus on what I'm about to do. And yeah, just like really, really... I've just been taking the performance aspect a lot more serious, as in like really, really focus on the show and like the kind of tracks that you play in front of people.
So when I have my like some biggest show that I have in my life, of course it's not like 1,000 people, but still biggest that I had. For me, sometimes it's hard to be focused too, not just focused, to enjoy the process. When I'm super nervous, and when I have this feeling during the show, I'm really like trying to talk to myself like, Leisan, please relax, like your set will be done like in an hour, and you even haven't enjoyed the process. Please calm down, relax, like trying to eye contact with the people, like feel the vibe, because when I'm nervous I'm like, and this always in my mind.
For me, it's like I never get really, really nervous until maybe 30 minutes before. And then like the anxiety.
What, do you have like butterfly, like your stomach? I'm always going to the restroom.
I'm always going to the bathroom, same. And it's like, it's always in my stomach.
And it's not pee. I'm swearing.
Like, I get
your stomach is like working so
no,
bad.
it really does.
No,
It's like,
true,
especially if like I get like, it's nothing and then a lot of anxiety and then nothing. Because once I play my first song and I get through the first like transition, it's like I'm fine.
The same. I said that. Yeah. You can calm. Like during the set, you can like just But before, you just like have so much anxiety.
Oh man.
I'm trying to do the breath work as well. I'm trying to breath and calm myself or like whatever, because sometimes I'm very emotional person. But do you think like in the future you will have less anxiety than right now?
I'm like sure it's already getting a lot better. Like every show that I do, it's like I'm definitely getting better at managing it. It's always like I still do get really nervous for the big ones though.
Because the music that you're playing, you play like EDM music, and the EDM music is like the biggest stages here at the festival. It's like it's not like the underground house music for a couple hundred people. It's like 1,000 people in the front of you. And it's the biggest festivals like EDC and stuff like that. So you have to be prepared for
I think my like the most nervous I've been recently was doing the Washington DC for Echo Stage.
How many people was there?
So I actually didn't know until I got there. And I asked the guy, so how many people are we expecting tonight, over text? And he goes like 3,000 to 4,000. I was like, oh fuck, like that's crazy. Like I've only played like the most I've ever played for was Tiesto, but I've never like I only came up for a song, right? I've never done a DJ set in front of more than 1,000 people at the time. And like maybe the 30 minutes before that set, I was like in the bathroom, like I was dry hacking and stuff, and like my friends were like, "Are you good? Like, are you cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like it happens, but like
when you have this type of shows, how you prepare your set? Do you like completely prepare, fully prepare, like 1, 2, 3, or you still have a chance to improvise during the show? So
for me, when it's like, I usually have to plan like. If it's like a time crunch, say if I have like 50 minutes, then I usually put moments for like my like songs of mine,
of course,
that I want to play, and just build a set around those. But for other shows, like I just did a party in Davis and in Northern California. That stuff I'll just freestyle. And then I know which songs in my head of mine that I need to play. And then other than that, I just play whatever.
Because when I have like very, very important shows, I really prepare myself. Of course, I mean, not like 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's still like I know that these songs I will play at the start, this one in the middle, this one I can like finish. I prepare because I thinking if I have an anxiety during the show, I don't want to fuck up. I just like want to be like make sure if I have a stress, I know that I did a good homework. But I mean, if it's like a regular gig, of course, when you have less stress, I can improvise.
No, like I totally feel you on that. So like for the bigger shows, I'll have like a playlist, and then I'll just have a bunch of songs that I think will work for this show. Like, so when I did the show in DC, it was for 2 friends. So I put more mainstream stuff on there, right? But like when I did a show in Chicago for for Martin Horger, I added more of like the underground stuff that I could play, that I know people in Chicago would appreciate. So it changes from every set, but like the staples are my songs, And I usually have like some combos that I have like just put around there, and I'll put them all in a playlist. And if I feel the need to go off script, then I will. But yeah.
How you can describe the style that you represent? Like you playing, like it's more EDM, it's more house. Like how you can say like the style that you playing more?
So my passion is like house music.
House music,
right? Obviously the Tiesto is very like EDM.
Yeah.
Like commercial, radio friendly kind of electronic
What
stuff.
do you think about the commercial songs, about the EDM style?
Yeah, I think people kind of shit on it unfairly.
Why?
Because at the end of the day, like that's what brings people into the underground techno clubs or the house. You have to start somewhere. Because if you're playing someone like DJ Heartstring to someone who's never heard EDM, they'll get scared and they'll be like, no, I don't want to listen to this. But if you like ease them in with like maybe a remix of someone popular, like a remix of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like then they'll get slowly drawn into a house music, if it's a house music of Taylor Swift, and then they'll go deeper to like Fisher, Chris Lake and stuff like that, you know? It's like I find the value in it. And like I feel like commercial house is what gets people really into those like 100 to 200 people clubs with like the underground stuff, like the real underground stuff. So I think it's good, you know. No, people will say otherwise, but
I mean, people in America, they really love EDM music. They love EDM festivals. I think it's one of the biggest music, for especially for America. But I mean, you know that I'm prefer more European style. But I remember you left the comments about the Fisher and Chris Lake in my Instagram. But I've never judged anyone, and just like about my preferences about the music. But I know my other friends, they're like really underground stuff, which is like I don't listen to, but it's so interesting because like my first rave in America, it was EDC.
In Vegas?
or maybe Beyond Wonderland first. And after
that's
that
a good one. That's a good one to start. Yeah. Was it the one in California or was it the Washington?
No, it was in California. It was almost 5 years ago. I've never listened electronic music before. Maybe like some tracks somewhere, but I've never been at any festivals, and I came at the first time in my life at Beyond Wonderland. I was like first time saw like people who are like wearing some outfits, a lot of stages, like and stuff like lights. The totems. Like I know zero about this culture, zero, and I came like, oh my god, it is so interesting. Right. I've never been like a club person. I'm still not the club person. It's so interesting that I'm playing the music and I'm not a night person at all. I'm
very much the same way. And I was like,
do you like sleep during the night or you like party more?
I like sleep. I like going out, but it's also like I like being inside drinking wine and like watching a movie. It's not my like. I actually tell a lot of people this, but like I really don't like drinking. I really just do it as like a social thing. Like I never drink by myself.
No, drink by yourself sounds very sad. I'm just like
but yeah, I mean like I do like actually like if I'm not playing clubs or if I'm not trying to see somebody who's playing at the club, I usually don't go. Like I don't go clubbing just to.
Me too, just club.
Yeah, just.
No, I can go if it's like a space or some like really cool.
Yeah,
clubs,
or it's like I'll go to a club all day for like if a person I like is performing. Like I go for the music. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But
the same thing.
I never just go to a club to just drink and like get fucked up or anything. I don't really think.
So you never had the situation when you play your set and you were completely drunk.
Many times.
Really?
Actually.
Did you have some funny stories?
Some funny drunk stories. So I used to like. Actually, I don't want to talk about that on camera. My mom's gonna watch. But yeah, I mean, so like before I started doing this like really professionally, I would get pretty drunk like before sets, and I think I was looking back on just like I recorded a set, and just to hear it back, you know, and I was really really drunk for this set, and I listened to myself. I'm like, dude, like this is not good. Like,
the set was bad.
yeah, as in just like the song choice was all over the place, and like the transitions were just so bad. And like, thank God this is like before anybody knew who I was. So this was literally just like in college at a party. I just decided to record it for fun, and I was like also really drunk as well as everyone else, and I'm like, dude, I can't do, if I want to do this seriously, I can't be like that all the time.
No,
So
I'm trying to not to drink as well during my sets. I can do maybe like 1-2 shots just to relax myself because I'm super nervous, or just like for the mood, like one glass of wine, you know, like one cocktail. But I'm never allowed myself to be drunk or to be out of my mind during my set because like it's a job. First of all, for me, it's a job. And the second thing, I want to enjoy what I'm doing. But when if I have a stress because I'm drunk, I cannot control myself or whatever, it's like doesn't make sense for me to play. Yeah. So how is your relationship with alcohol? I mean, during your set, so you're not trying.
So it's the same. It's the same way. It's like I have like a shot or two before, and then if I feel comfortable enough, then I'll have like a drink on stage and just I'll save the partying for after. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I can enjoy a good party with friends, but I don't really drink like until after, or like in the middle of like performing. When I know I'm already like in the groove and like comfortable, then like I'll have a drink, but never before anymore. Like I can't do that.
No, I agree. We have to. I mean, when I start realizing that the music is my job and playing not just like one time in a month. First of all, I decided. So I'm not using drugs. So I decided to myself that I'm not gonna do that because I see the people who are. I have a lot of different friends. Someone is sober, someone is not, but when I realized that if I choose DJing in music as my job, and if I don't know, drink or do like any other stuff during all my shows, it's gonna happen not good for me. It's like, especially I'm a girl, you know, like, so I decided for myself, okay, I can do like some like couple of drinks, but smoking weed.
Do you smoke before at all?
I mean, in Russia, it's illegal.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So in Russia, it's illegal everything right now. The normal life is illegal. But I like weed. I'm not like smoking a lot, but I like weed because I feel music a little bit different under the weed. I feel I can sometimes just smoke and just listen in the music and just see like small details, and I like this feeling. And I can have like a couple of drinks during the set, but when I'm playing my show, I'm trying to be sober and be responsible like what I'm doing. But
and also as you like start playing bigger shows, like people are watching you. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, like people like will watch how you behave around shows and stuff, and I always keep that in mind. Like I don't want to be acting a fool in like public, stupid, and like agents are there and like talent buyers are there seeing me be a shithead. And
honestly, like, I didn't see any videos of other artists who was fucked up. Did you have you ever seen this type of videos?
I've seen it in person. I've never seen videos of it, but I always make sure that I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I make sure that I can have conversations with people. I just don't like being blacked out in public is never a good idea, especially if you're like, you know, in front of people and you're interacting with like.
When you're playing, what is your like the most annoying things during your set that maybe someone start talking to you or someone, I don't know, trying touch you, dance with you, you know, like when I'm playing, I hate when people start talking to me and interact. I'm just like,
I hate that too.
Don't touch me. Don't talk to me.
I hate that too. Or it's like, honestly, like I don't mind people in the booth. I love having people.
I can say hi. I can say how are you and hug you, but I'm not ready to like dialogue with you.
Yeah. So I love having people in the booth, but there gets to a certain point where it's just too much. And like you're literally DJing like this, you know, and you're like a T-Rex. You're just like DJing like that, And when it gets to that point, I'm like, hey, could you please get some people off? At the show for Martin Horger in Chicago, actually, I had people in the booth, and that happened where it was like everybody was way too close. And I think there was a girl who was like taking a selfie like that. And like, let's say the DJ board is right here.
Yeah.
She was like taking a selfie like that, and she stopped the music. And everyone was.
Did you hit her?
No. Hell no.
I mean, like, yes.
I was like, but like the crowd, like the crowd was like looking at her the whole time because she was like, she's taking a selfie backwards in front of everybody.
And you played during this time.
Yeah, it was me.
She stopped the music.
She stopped the music.
What did you do at this moment?
And then I was like, at the other time, I was on the other side, like looking for a new song and stuff. And I just heard it go, and then the crowd go, oh, and I looked, and she was already embarrassed. She was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's okay. And then I pulled the fret again. I did that da 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 da, and then I played it again. But I did ask her to just hang out. So like that whole squad, they were my really good friends, so I felt bad. But I was just like, hey, could you guys hang out like over there? Like there's more drinks, like it's way chiller. And they're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think people just going crazy, you know, they just like vibing and forget that it's like I just saw the video of Fred again.
Yeah.
Did you see this video?
It was almost exactly like
he's
that.
playing, and the guy, he's just dancing and doing with his elbow to
yeah,
this
like I'm not gonna tell
button.
people to stop having fun, because why would you ever do that? But yeah, it's just like, I think a little bit of space in the booth is my thing. I love people in the booth, but like, give me space.
Just a little bit. For
yeah,
sure.
you know, you don't have to be next to me. Like we're not going back to back or anything. So
something that you don't like during you playing, something that you prefer.
I hate it when people constantly try to, like, you ever play like a venue where like there are tables to like next to the DJ stand and stuff. I like really hate it when people are like, yo, come here, and I'm like, I try to I try to act like I don't see them, but like I make eye contact and they're like, they know I see them, like, oh okay, like what's up. So like I go like, I kind of hate that, but like as a person I have to go respond, you know, because like I looked at them and they're like, I'm like, okay, what? so I have to, I do talk to them for a little bit, but I also hate that when people are like you said, when like they're behind you and they're like trying to talk, and I'm like, dude, I'm in the middle of something right now.
I'm working.
Yeah, I'm on the clock.
If you
I'm
can
clocked
see.
in. Yeah.
What about the songs requests?
Song requests.
How much is cost for today if I wanna order the song request? I'm like, Kyle, can you play this song? He's like, 1,000.
No, so it all depends.
Venmo me.
Yeah, it all depends. But if it's a good song request, then I'm like, okay, word, I'll play it next. People can get a little annoying with the song request though.
For example, tell me a story.
So there was this guy. This happened in Arkansas, of all places. I was playing this show, and this guy was friends with the stage manager, right?
Yeah.
So when I was introduced, I was like, "Oh, like, good to have you. Nice to meet you. Blah blah blah." And he asked me, he's like, "Yo, I have this song that his girlfriend. I was introduced to his girlfriend too.
Yeah.
It's like, he pulls me aside. He's like, "Yo, I have this song that my girlfriend and I love. You should play it tonight." I was like, "Yeah, dude. If I have it, I got you." And so he leaves, the night goes on, like 30, 40 minutes pass by. I don't have his song, so I just don't play it. I just go through my normal songs.
Yeah.
Go through my set how I normally would. And then this guy comes back noticeably more drunk. He's like hammered at this point. And he comes up back to the booth because, again, he knows the stage manager. And he's like mad at me. And I look to my left. I'm like, are you good? Like, is everything cool? And he's like, so, like, why haven't you played it yet? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I don't have it. And then his entire demeanor changed. He was all testosterone out. He was like this. And he was like,
a little bit details.
Yeah. And he was like, how do you not have this song, bro? Like, it's a big song. And like, I don't even remember what the song is. But like, at this point, like, he's like raising his voice at me. So I'm like, fuck no, I'm not gonna play your song. And I think he leaves one more time, and then maybe 20 minutes later, he goes up to me. He's like, "You haven't played it." I'm like, "I don't have it, bro. This is the third time I've told you I don't have it. Sorry." And then he comes up to me and he's like, like I'm an actual DJ and I get booked to play clubs. And which is funny in retrospect because I was flown out to do this club in Arkansas. So like I could have been way worse about it, but I was just like, I looked at him and I was just like, get the fuck out of my booth. And like, that was the only time I've ever kicked somebody out. Like if you're being disruptive in the booth, fine. Like, I don't care. Like, you're having fun. That's good. If you're like actually like disrespecting me and shit, get the fuck out. You know what I mean? And that, like, I think he just crossed that line a little bit. Like his friend stage manager had to get him off. But like, that was the only time I've ever like kick someone out of the booth.
It's so interesting because sometimes people, they don't feel the boundaries,
Yeah.
they just like and sometimes for the people who are not maybe into the electronic music, they're thinking that the DJ is really the person who just changed the song and they have access to the like music library, and they just like
you've seen the video of that girl in John Summit's booth, and she was like, she reached for the alcohol and he was just like,
yes.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting.
Yeah, it's like that.
Well,
like
the whole scene, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I even don't like how he's drinking and push. I didn't like it.
I think at the end of the day, it's like if you're at some place that is exclusive, because the DJ booth is like an exclusive place to be, right?
Yeah.
Just show respect, and that's it. Like, don't go stealing shit. Like, don't ask for a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Like, just enjoy yourself, and like you're fine. But when people cross that line, I think, that line has to be drawn.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So please, please.
I'm thinking about that video too, and I'm like, oh.
No, I just remember this video. I think everyone, everyone, a lot of people saw this video. But John Summit is always drinking this tequila and always give these girls. But I just feel this feeling that he just give a chance to other girls to drink from his bottles. I just like this like luxury vibe. I just don't like it. I don't know, but it's just like not my vibe. Just not my vibe. I cannot explain. Like, this is like girls, very specific type of girls hanging out around the John Summit, and they're just like a privilege AA thing. I just don't like it. But we're not judging people. It is what it is. So I know you're going to the tour with Joss. Joss is like the one more biggest.
He's an OG
musician. How does it happen that you're going with him to the tour?
So
it's like someone DM you again.
Dude, okay. This one I'm a little bit like I know a little bit less about this because it's so recent. But I think my manager was hit up by his team, and they're like, "Hey, like we would love for you guys to go on tour." And if you say yes to this, oh wait, actually I can't say this yet. Okay, or when is this episode airing?
You can. It will be, I think, at the end of March or maybe April.
End of March, perfect. Okay, we're good.
Glenn.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Glenn's right there. If you guys don't know, but so they hit me up to go on tour with them, to join them on 4 dates, and they're like, to promote the tour, you should do a remix, and I'm not going to say the date yet, but I think by the time this podcast is fully out, it'll be out. Yeah. But it's very soon, and we did a remix, and we got to know each other over DM and stuff. But it's really cool because like one of my first EDM shows was Jaws at Coachella at the Sahara tent, and like to be like working with him and like now joining him on the road is like pretty cool.
Have you ever had a tour with other artists before when you're going with him from like city to city?
No, so we're only, it's not like a bus tour or anything. So we're doing Philadelphia, Dallas, Denver.
But you just fly to these cities.
Yeah,
but still,
it's cool. It's so sick. Yeah, it's like
I'm so excited.
I know, yeah, like I mean, like I have been on a tour. I went on a tour with Disco Lines, and that was like 4 dates in a row. But I think these venues that we're playing are like some of the biggest venues I've ever done. It's like 1015 Folsom in San Francisco, like Concourse Project in Austin. Like I haven't done big venues like that other than Echo Stage. And then
for example, when you did tour with Disco Lines, did you prepare your set like the same set for every city, or are you changing something?
I always change something, like, or I keep like the main, like the staples in. Like I keep the Family Ties. I keep like my music in. Yeah. But like for Chicago, I'll play like some classic Chicago house. Detroit, I peppered in some like techno in there.
It's cool. It's cool that you're like respect the audience, you respect the cities, and it's so nice.
And like in the Bay Area, I had to play some E40 or like some like Bay Area rap and stuff like that. Because I feel like, you know, like you got to make everything kind of special. Yeah. Because like people are going out to pay money to see you. Like you better be paying it back and like giving them a show. You know what I mean? Because like I would hate to just do the same thing over and over again every night. I feel like that would make it really boring.
No, first of all, it can be boring for you.
Yeah.
Like when I'm playing the same stuff, I'm like, I don't have this passion, to have this fire inside of me.
So like you're just going through the motions,
first of all, you have to like entertain yourself to make fun with yourself and bring this fun to the people.
Exactly.
What the festival is it like next goal in your like list?
In the list,
like Crossroads.
So Crossed in San Diego. Yeah, Crossed in San Diego. That one is very special to me just because that is where I like fell in love with like house music and like most of electronic music in general is from like Ocean Stage at Crossed. And I don't know if you've ever been.
I've never been, but I know that
you should go. You should go.
So like, you have to play and we will go.
Yeah, exactly. But
I
it's
know
like
the Disco Line playing this.
He is
in March, right?
He is, yeah. And so is Angry Baby. He's like one of my other really good friends. But yeah, it's like everybody in San Diego goes to this festival. And it's like right next to the ocean and like next to a harbor. There's like a pirate ship parked at the ocean. So there's like a pirate ship. There's a sunset. There's like such good house music all the time. And like,
and they have so many people of just like
Black Coffee is playing for this one, the new one for the next one.
Yes, I saw like a huge lineup. Like Martinez Brothers are
coming.
Martinez
Bros. They're going back to back. I think with Martinez Brothers and like Martin Eichen or something.
Maybe
crazy, but
Lane 8, I guess.
Yeah, Lane 8. Fatboy Slim played recently. Really, really like top class people. No,
I love Fatboy Slim. I saw him in space.
Oh no way!
Yeah,
that
we stayed behind. So I'm always telling this story that the Fatboy Slim, he's sober for 15 years or 10 years, something like that. He's not drinking, he's not doing drugs, and he's so much fun. He's like going crazy and. Yeah, he's not like 15 years old, but he's jumping, having fun, and
so Fatboy Slim.
Crazy.
Funny you say that because Fatboy Slim was one of the best sets I've ever seen.
Oh.
And it was like at Cross, and like I would expect Fatboy Slim to be playing like classic house.
Yeah,
he was playing like Fisher and stuff. Like he was playing like Fisher and just like a bunch of like commercial and like underground, and I'm like, this is like the most fun like I've ever had at a house show, and it's crazy because like he was playing a little bit of everything, like the deep stuff and then like the mainstream stuff, but it's like it's still a banger, you know. But like that festival, like once we get the call to do that, is gonna be a sick day.
So you've never planned at the play at the Cross Festival, but you would love to.
I would love to. That's my dream festival.
Please. Goodfella is ready. Goodfella is ready. He's can be very booked soon. You know, maybe you cannot reach him out.
You guys have booked my friends Disco Lines and Angry Baby. I think it's time to add a third. So please book me. My agents are gonna be right here. Their emails. So call me.
And I can open for Kyle as well.
Yes, Leisan we could do an afters together.
We have the same management, so you can reach to us.
Yeah, exactly. And we're such a good time. If you can't already tell, crossed.
I'm very happy for you that you have like a good days in your career, but I'm pretty sure as every artist, you have ups and downs sometimes. So when the last time you have like a bad day, when you have a not like a depression, but you're just like, oh my god, what's going on, am I doing right? Do you have this type of days?
I haven't had one in a while, thank God, because I feel like I've really found a groove, and then I've really found like my personal like formula for just doing well and making good music. But I think in December there was a stretch of like 2 weeks where I didn't make anything, in my opinion, that was very good or like had potential to be like released. And I was just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, are you going to be able to like make something? Because this is also right after the Tiesto thing. And we were riding off a high. And when you make music that isn't up to par with that, you're like, am I like, do I remember how to make good music? But that was only for a couple weeks, and like
what did you do this couple weeks? Just sitting in the room? Or you
like,
just have this mood?
Yeah, or sometimes I just get like really down on myself. And like that, and like looking at my demos that I had made over the past 2 weeks, I'm just like, none of these are good. Like, what am I doing? And then I think I just like, this was around Christmas, and I think I really just needed a break.
Yeah.
Like no music, and just hanging out with my friends while we're home.
Just a little bit relaxed.
Yeah. Like I went out like and met up with my friends from high school. And then I like sat inside and played video games for like a long stretch of time, because usually like other than the holidays, I don't really have time to sit down and like just play games and stuff.
So you're like, as you said, formula to like stop being in this type of mood, just change your routine, like a little bit, like
take a break.
Yeah, change the focus.
Yeah, take a break, go outside, go on a walk, like get some good food somewhere. Just don't.
We love it.
Yeah, like just don't like don't worry about it.
Because sometimes when I have this type of thing, you can go like deeper and deeper in that, you know, like a black hole, and just like start more overthinking about it, and just like go.
And I feel like as musicians, we like put like a lot of pressure on ourselves.
Are you hard on yourself?
Yeah, super hard. I think like if you ask like my team or anything, they'll be like, I am my own worst critic, which I feel like a lot of artists could relate to that.
For sure. 100%.
But like by being your own boss and stuff, like you should really like just take it easy on yourself. Like being hard on yourself is not going to force you to make good music. Like you're still human. You have to take care of yourself. You got to get sleep. You got to go to the gym, go outside, talk to people. And that's when the best music comes out, is if you're like caring for yourself, I think.
But still you have to hold yourself, not just to.
Yeah. It's not to say like anything you make is like, oh yeah, whatever, but like put it out. Like you still need to hold yourself to a standard, but at the same time, you can't be beating yourself up, because that doesn't help with creativity. If you're making music out of anger or like hatred for anything, it's not going to be good.
How you can describe your music? What music brings? What kind of emotions? What kind of memories?
I think people? So I've always been like a melody centric guy. A lot of my like more like melodic stuff isn't out yet, but when I go into a song and I songwrite, it's usually like a catchy melody, like a lot of like stuff on top. I don't really like lead with bass a lot, which I'm like, now that I'm trying to do club records, I definitely like focus more on like low end, and then stuff that's hard and like stuff like that'll like really get you dancing. But I really like making like emotional and like festival-y stuff, you know, like stuff that you can like cry to and like hold someone to.
Like some sentimental thing.
Yeah,
sometimes I love it too.
Oh yeah,
just
of
like
course.
Something that is just like touch your soul,
right?
You know,
because like when you go
when
to
you want
like
a little bit to cry.
I know, like crying's good, you know, like, or like just at a like for me, like the festival experience is like something that I really think about when I make stuff. So I really go for things that will like be a moment at a festival. So it's like now I'm making a lot of club stuff, but I'm also like I really love making the melodic and emotional poppier.
When you cry last time?
When was the last time I cried?
Yeah.
Fuck, maybe.
I cried 2 days ago.
Oh, 2 days ago? Oh, no.
Usually I'm not crying.
Uh-huh.
I'm crying just because of I'm happy or like some emotional. But I talked to my girls like a few weeks before and just like, oh, we're crying like every week. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe something wrong with me because I didn't remember when I'm crying, but I have some like very like not like bad mood but some sad feelings.
And that's okay.
And I was put some sad songs like on my hammock and like and like
wait, what song were you crying to? Let me ask.
I wanna
because I have a crying playlist and there's a lot of there's a lot of Frank Ocean in there, you know.
Oh, this one fantasy. It's less than 1,000 listeners. I don't know if you can see, like it's a fantasy galley band. So I just like this song finished and I didn't finish the cry and I'm like put again like and just
have it on repeat.
And just laying on my hammock and like
I love that. No, crying is good. It's like good to release things, you know.
What is your plan for this year?
My plan?
Yes. Which shows we can see you like in the spring or summer? Tell us.
So, I think if people are going to Miami, I will be in Miami. I haven't announced.
We both will be in Miami.
Yes, I will be in Miami for Music Week. I'm not able to say yet because they're not announced, but we will be there. So Miami's gonna be fun, and then we're playing a couple breakaway festivals. So there's one in Tampa, and then another one in like Minnesota, like Minneapolis. And then the one I'm really excited for is Project Glow, which is in Washington D.C. And like, yeah, it's just like I love D.C. and like the fans there are so fun and like they're so up for like just anything.
You have a lot of shows. Yeah.
No, but like I think that one is like I'm super excited for that one just because the DC like Washington DC went so well at Echo Stage and like I can't wait to see how it is like at the festival and stuff.
I'm so happy for you and I hopefully that all the good things that you have right now, all your like wins, as I said, goals that you achieved at this year and last year, just like give you more push to get more cool things, to get more cool releases and collaborations. What the advice or some like words you can say to the people who just started their music career producing and DJing, like as an artist, what you can suggest or give some advice to them?
I think my biggest form of advice is to just learn to love the process, which I'm sure if you're listening to this and you're beginning, you've heard so much. But it really is something that you need to have, like the love for it, because if you're doing this just for the clout and stuff, you're going to hate it real quick, right? Like really, really love making the music and thinking of the music and like the process of like setting up a release or like setting up a show. Like really fall in love with that process because like sometimes you're going to throw a show, you're going to put out a song that no one's going to listen to, and that's fine. Like the only people that really do last are the people that really love it. So learn to love what you do. So
the main ingredient of the like your music is love, right?
It's love.
Love to the music and love to Caroline.
Yeah, shout out my girlfriend. She wanted to come by because I told her there was going to be wine. Yeah. And obviously she looks up to you a lot because she's also a DJ.
Yeah, she's amazing. I love her so much. I mean, pretty sure we will hang out together pretty soon. Yeah.
So she'll be listening to this and she won't know that we shouted her out until the end of the episode.
And we love you, Caroline.
We love you, Caroline. I love you, Caroline.
I wish you good tour with Jazz. I wish you a lot of cool shows this year and can't wait the new releases. Yeah, and thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. Seriously, I appreciate you a lot. And by the way, this girl just released a song on Solomon's label. Like, come on, Rover.
Yes,
banger.
Yes.
I've been playing it, by the way.
I didn't
Your
see
song?
the video. I just saw the spook played it.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll try.
No
to,
video, no proofs. You
no
know.
video, no proof.
Thank
All right.
you
Well,
so
I'll
much.
make sure to get some videos next
You're the
time.
best.
Yeah. Aw. Thank you for having me.